"What's this? Some kind of prank?" the young cop snapped, stepping out of the patrol car with a smirk. Her badge gleamed under the noon sun, and her partner leaned against the hood, arms crossed, chuckling. Alex Carter, 78 years old, sat still on his 1968 Triumph motorcycle, hands firm on the handlebars, his weathered face calm, eyes locked on the road ahead. The officers swapped a quick glance, their impatience clear. "License, registration, and get off the bike, sir," the woman said, her tone sharp. She adjusted her sunglasses, one hand brushing her holster. Alex didn't flinch, his gaze steady, like he'd seen worse than a pair of small-town cops. What they didn't know was that in just minutes, 50 Marines in Humvees, led by a captain, would roll in, searching for whoever dared to stop Alex Carter. Alex woke every morning at 4:30, a habit carved from 40 years of discipline. His small ranch, tucked 12 miles outside Willow Creek, smelled of hay and motor oil. Yesterday, his 1975 Ford tractor sputtered out, a busted fuel pump he knew by heart. Fixing it meant a trip to town, and for that, he trusted his Triumph. The bike's engine growled like a storm, its chrome chipped but alive. At 78, Alex rode with the precision of a man half his age, his reflexes honed by years in places most only read about. The cops saw an old man on a rusty bike, nothing more. Life had a way of hiding heroes behind wrinkles and worn leather. The light turned red at Willow Creek's main strip. Alex eased the Triumph to a stop near the diner where he grabbed coffee every Sunday. The engine's low rumble bounced off the brick buildings. A flash of red and blue in his side mirror caught his eye. Officer Taylor Reed, 29, strode toward him, her boots clicking on the pavement. Her partner, Officer Jordan Hayes, 32, trailed behind. Shaking his head like Alex was a puzzle they didn't want to solve. "This bike even legal?" Taylor asked, her voice dripping with doubt. "Shut it off, sir." Alex stayed put, hands on the bars, eyes forward. "License and registration," she pressed, louder now. He reached into his faded denim jacket, pulling out a worn wallet. The documents were crisp, organized, handed over without a word. Taylor scanned the license, her brow furrowing. 78? "You're too old to be riding this thing." Jordan smirked, circling the bike. "Man, this Triumph's older than my grandpa. Look at the dents." The search came next, pointless but firm. Taylor patted Alex down, her hands quick, while Jordan checked the bike's saddlebags. A small crowd gathered across the street, phones out, whispers floating. "Poor guy," someone muttered. "He looks lost." Alex stood tall, silent, his eyes never leaving the horizon. "Where you live, Mr. Carter?" Taylor asked. "Ranch off Route 17, he said, voice low. "Alone." She raised an eyebrow. "Been alone a long time." Her glance at Jordan said it all. Another confused old man. "You got family?" Jordan chimed in. "Someone to look after you?" Alex's jaw tightened, just for a second. "I look after myself." Taylor scoffed. "Riding this at your age? That's dangerous. You could hurt someone." The crowd grew louder, their pity stinging worse than the cop's words. "He's just an old-timer," a woman said. "They should let him go." Alex closed his eyes, breathing slow. He'd faced bigger fights, in darker places, with stakes higher than pride. But here, in his own town, the weight of their judgment pressed hard. Across the street, at the diner, Sarah Morgan, 55, a retired nurse, watched from the window. She knew Alex from his Sunday visits, always quiet, always kind. Her heart sank as she saw the scene unfold. Sarah gripped her coffee mug, her knuckles white. She'd seen Alex tip extra for waitresses, leave dog treats for strays. He wasn't just some old man. She pulled out her phone, dialing a number she hadn't used in years. "Fort Pendleton," a voice answered. "This is Sarah Morgan. I need to speak to an officer. It's urgent." Back on the street, Taylor's voice rose. "Mr. Carter, you're coming with us. We need to check if you're fit to ride." Alex's eyes opened, calm but sharp. "On what grounds?" Taylor hesitated, her confidence cracking. The crowd murmured, sensing the shift. Sarah's call connected. "It's about Alex Carter," she said. "He's being harassed by police." The officer's tone changed. "Carter? Hold on." The air grew thick with tension. Taylor stepped closer, her hand on her radio. "Get in the car, sir." Alex didn't move. "I haven't broken any law." Jordan sighed, trying a softer approach. "Look, we're just worried about you, okay? A guy your age, on a bike like this, it's risky." Alex's voice stayed even. "I've ridden 60 years. No accidents." Taylor cut in. "That's not the point. You could be a danger." The crowd's whispers turned to grumbles. "They're bullying him," a man said. Sarah hung up, her heart racing. The officer had promised help was coming. She stepped outside, watching, waiting. Far down Route 17, a low rumble grew, too faint to notice yet. Alex stood his ground, the Triumph behind him like an old friend. He'd built a life on principle, on standing tall when others pushed. The cops didn't know his story, and he didn't owe them one. But the crowd's pity, the phones recording his shame, it cut deep. Taylor's radio crackled, but she ignored it, her frustration boiling. "Last chance, Mr. Carter." Sarah's eyes locked on the horizon. The rumble grew louder, a storm of engines. Help was close, and Willow Creek was about to learn who Alex Carter really was. The rumble grew louder, a deep growl rolling down Route 17. Dust kicked up as 10 Humvees rounded the bend, their engines shaking the quiet Willow Creek street. Officer Taylor Reed froze, her hand still on her radio. Officer Jordan Hayes stepped back, his smirk on. Alex Carter stood by his Triumph, his face calm, eyes still fixed on the horizon. The crowd hushed, phones raised, catching every second. Sarah Morgan, standing outside the diner, felt her pulse quicken. She'd known Alex was more than he seemed. But this was something else. The Humvee stopped in a tight arc, blocking half the road. Doors swung open, and 50 Marines stepped out, their boots hitting the pavement in unison. A tall figure emerged from the lead vehicle, his uniform crisp, his stride purposeful. Captain Morgan Blake, 52, moved straight toward Alex, ignoring the cops. "Colonel Carter," Morgan said, his voice steady. He snapped a sharp salute, his eyes locked on Alex. The word "Colonel" hit like a thunderclap. Taylor's sunglasses slipped down her nose, her jaw tight. Jordan's face paled, his hands fidgeting. The crowd gasped, whispers rippling. "Colonel," a woman muttered. "That old guy." Captain Morgan turned to the officers, his gaze cold. "Who stopped Colonel Carter?" Taylor swallowed, stepping forward. "Officer Reed, Willow Creek PD. We were just checking his bike, sir." Morgan's eyes narrowed. "Checking? You humiliated a man who led missions in Desert Storm, trained thousands of Marines, and saved lives you'll never know about." The crowd's murmurs grew louder, their pity turning to awe. Alex stayed silent, his hands clasped behind his back. He'd faced ambushes in war zones, lost friends in battles, and carried scars no one saw. This moment, though, stung in a different way. Being judged by his own town hurt more than he'd expected. Taylor tried to speak. "We didn't know he was military, sir." Morgan's voice rose. "This man earned 2 Silver Stars, 3 Purple Hearts, and a Navy Cross. He's a legend in the Corps." The Marines behind him stepped closer, their presence heavy, united. Jordan stammered, "We were worried about his safety, that's all." Morgan cut him off. "Safety? He's ridden that bike across continents. You think he's the danger here?" Sarah watched, her heart swelling. She'd seen Alex's quiet strength over the years, how he'd fix a neighbor's fence without asking, how he'd sit with her after her husband's funeral, saying little but meaning everything. She stepped closer, her voice soft but firm. "Alex isn't just some old man. He's family to this town." A man in the crowd nodded, his phone still recording. "She's right. He helped my dad rebuild his barn last year." The mood shifted, the crowd's judgment flipping to respect. Taylor's face flushed, her confidence crumbling. She thought Alex was just a stubborn senior. Now, she saw the weight of her mistake. But the twist wasn't over. A second vehicle pulled up, a black SUV, its windows tinted. A woman stepped out, her gray hair tied back, her posture straight. Colonel Emily Parker, 70, retired, had trained alongside Alex decades ago. She'd heard Sarah's call through a friend at Fort Pendleton. "Morgan, stand down," she said, her voice calm but commanding. Morgan nodded, stepping back. Emily walked to Alex, her eyes warm. "You okay, old friend?" Alex's face softened, a rare smile breaking through. "Been better, Em." The crowd watched stunned as two legends stood side by side. Taylor's radio crackled again, but she didn't answer. She was staring at Emily, then Alex, her mind racing. "Who's she?" Jordan whispered. Emily overheard, turning to him. "I'm Colonel Parker. I served with Carter in places you can't imagine. You picked the wrong man to mess with." The Marines stood taller, their loyalty clear. The crowd buzzed, phones capturing every word. A teenager in the back shouted, "This is crazy." Sarah felt tears prick her eyes. She'd called for help, but she hadn't expected this. A reunion of heroes, right here in Willow Creek. Taylor tried to regain control. "Ma'am, Colonel Carter was uncooperative." "We had to." Emily raised a hand. "Uncooperative? He's the most disciplined man I know. You judged him by his age, not his actions." Alex spoke, his voice low but clear. "I just wanted to get a part for my tractor." The simplicity of it hit hard. The crowd groaned, some shaking their heads. "They stopped him for that?" a woman said. Taylor's shoulders slumped. She'd acted on instinct, assuming Alex was frail, a risk. Now she saw the truth, a man who'd faced war, loss, and time, still standing strong. Jordan stepped forward, his voice shaky. "Sir, we didn't mean any disrespect." Alex looked at him, his eyes steady. "Respect starts with listening, son." The words hung in the air, simple but heavy. The crowd nodded, some clapping softly. Farther down the street, another sound broke through, a motorcycle's roar. A lone rider, clad in leather, pulled up. It was Riley Davis, 45, a former Marine who'd served under Alex. He'd been at Fort Pendleton when the call came and rode out to join the others. "Colonel Carter," he said, dismounting. "Couldn't let you face this alone." Alex nodded, his eyes glinting with something like pride. The Marines formed a line, their presence a silent promise. Taylor and Jordan stood frozen, the weight of their error sinking in. The crowd's phones kept rolling, but now they captured honor, not shame. Sarah wiped her eyes, knowing Willow Creek would never see Alex the same way again. The Willow Creek street buzzed with tension, the air thick with the scent of diesel from the Humvees. Alex Carter stood by his Triumph, his face calm but eyes sharp, taking in the line of Marines, Colonel Emily Parker and Riley Davis. The crowd's phones stayed up, capturing the scene, their whispers now a mix of shock and respect. Officer Taylor Reed's hands shook slightly, her sunglasses hiding wide eyes. Officer Jordan Hayes shifted his weight, glancing at the Marines, then at Alex. Sarah Morgan stood near the diner, her heart pounding with pride for Alex, but worry crept in. What would happen next? Captain Morgan Blake's voice cut through. "Officers, you owe Colonel Carter an explanation." Taylor opened her mouth, but no words came. The crowd leaned in, waiting. "I thought he was a risk," Taylor finally said, her voice low. "An old man on a bike like that. I assumed he couldn't handle it." Alex's gaze met hers, steady, no anger, just patience. "You didn't ask," he said. "You told me who I was." The words landed hard, simple but heavy. The crowd murmured, a man saying, "He's right." They judged him fast. Jordan stepped up, his tone softer. "Sir, we see accidents all the time. We were trying to keep people safe." Alex nodded, slow. "Good intention. Wrong target." Emily Parker snorted, crossing her arms. "They picked a man who rode through war zones. Safe's not the issue here." Taylor's face burned. She'd grown up in Willow Creek, joined the force to make a difference. Now, she'd misjudged a hero, and the whole town saw it. "I'm sorry, sir," she said, her voice cracking. "I didn't know your story." Alex tilted his head. "You don't need my story to treat me like a person." The crowd clapped, soft at first, then louder. A woman shouted, "That's right, Alex." Sarah smiled, her eyes misty. She'd seen Alex's kindness, how he'd mowed her lawn when she was sick, never asking for thanks. This was the man she knew, standing tall under pressure. But another twist hit. A pickup truck screeched to a stop nearby, dust swirling. Out stepped Logan Bailey, 38, a local mechanic and former Marine who'd served under Alex in Iraq. He'd been fixing a car at his shop when a buddy texted about the standoff. "Colonel Carter." Logan called, jogging over, his work boots thudding. "You okay?" Alex's eyes warmed. "Just a misunderstanding, Logan." Logan glared at Taylor and Jordan. "Misunderstanding? They're treating you like a criminal." The Marines nodded, their stance firm. Riley Davis, the biker, spoke up. "Logan's right. This ain't just a mistake. It's disrespect." Taylor's radio crackled, a voice saying, "Reed, Hayes, report to the station. Now." Jordan frowned. "Sarge, we're handling it." The voice snapped, "Sheriff's orders. Get back here." Taylor hesitated, looking at Alex. "We're not done here," she said, almost pleading. Emily raised an eyebrow. "You're done when Colonel Carter says you are." The crowd cheered, phones still rolling. A kid in the back yelled, "Let Alex ride." Sarah stepped forward, her voice clear. "Officers, you've done enough. Let him go." Taylor's shoulders slumped, but she nodded, stepping back. Jordan followed, unsure. Then, another sound. A chopper's blades whirring overhead. A news helicopter circled, its camera trained on the scene. The crowd gasped, pointing up. "Channel 7's here," a man shouted. Sarah's stomach dropped. This wasn't just Willow Creek's drama now. It was going viral. Logan muttered, "Great, more eyes on this mess." Captain Morgan turned to Alex. "Sir, you want us to clear this out?" Alex shook his head. "Let them watch. Truth don't need hiding." His words, calm and sure, silenced the crowd for a moment. Emily smiled, nudging him. "Still got that fire, Carter." Alex shrugged, a small grin breaking through. Taylor spoke, her voice shaky. "Colonel, what do you want us to do?" Alex looked at her, then the crowd, the Marines, the chopper above. "Go back to your station," he said. "Think about why you stopped me. Then we'll talk." Jordan nodded, relieved. "Yes, sir." But Taylor stayed rooted, her eyes on Alex. "I want to make this right," she said. Riley scoffed. "Too late for that, officer." Logan crossed his arms. "You can't undo public shame." The Marines murmured agreement, their loyalty to Alex fierce. The crowd's mood shifted again, some booing Taylor, others calling for calm. Sarah saw the pain in Taylor's eyes. She knew Taylor wasn't cruel, just young, too quick to judge. "Give her a chance, Alex," Sarah said softly. Alex glanced at her, then back at Taylor. "Chances are earned," he said. "Start by listening." The chopper's roar grew louder, and the Humvees' engines idled, a reminder of the power behind Alex. The news crew above caught every angle, Marines, cops, Alex's triumph, the crowd's faces. Willow Creek's quiet day had turned into a story no one would forget. Taylor and Jordan headed to their car, the crowd parting. But as they left, a final twist loomed. Sheriff Harper was waiting at the station, and he had his own history with Alex. The Humvees' engines growled low, and the news chopper's blades thumped above Willow Creek. Alex Carter stood by his triumph, his face steady, eyes scanning the Marines, Colonel Emily Parker, Riley Davis, and Logan Bailey. The crowd's phones stayed up, their faces a mix of awe and anger. Officer Taylor Reed and Officer Jordan Hayes climbed into their patrol car, the crowd parting like a wave. Sarah Morgan watched from the diner's edge, her hands clenched, hoping Alex would get the respect he deserved. Captain Morgan Blake nodded to Alex. "Colonel, you need anything, we're here." Alex's voice was calm. "Just need to fix my tractor, Captain." The simplicity cut through the chaos, and the crowd chuckled, some clapping. But the air shifted again. A black sedan rolled up, its tires crunching gravel. The door opened, and Sheriff Lucas Harper, 60, stepped out, his badge glinting. He'd been Alex's friend 30 years ago, before a falling out no one in town knew about. Lucas's face tightened as he saw Alex, then the Marines. "What's going on here?" he asked, his voice gruff. Taylor jumped out of the car, flustered. "Sheriff, we stopped Mr. Carter for a safety check. We didn't know he was a colonel." Lucas's eyes flicked to Alex, a flash of guilt in them. "You stopped Alex Carter," he said, low. "You got no idea who you're dealing with." The crowd hushed, sensing history between the men. Emily stepped forward, her tone sharp. Sheriff, your officers disrespected a Marine legend. Fix this. Lucas raised a hand. I'll handle it, Colonel Parker. He turned to Alex. You okay, old man? Alex's eyes narrowed, just a fraction. Been better, Lucas. The crowd caught the edge in his voice. Phone zooming in. Logan muttered to Riley, they know each other? Riley nodded. Bet there's a story there. Sarah's heart sank. She'd heard rumors of a fight between Alex and Lucas. Something about a promise broken long ago. Another twist hit. A woman pushed through the crowd, her gray coat flapping. It was Hannah Quinn, 65, Willow Creek's librarian and Alex's neighbor. She'd seen the chopper from her porch and rushed over. Alex Carter, you tell these people who you are, she shouted, her voice fierce. You saved my brother in Kuwait. The crowd gasped, heads turning. Hannah pointed at Alex. He carried my brother 2 miles under fire, got him to a medic. Don't you dare treat him like this. Taylor's face paled, and Jordan looked at the ground. The Marines stood prouder, their eyes on Alex. Enough, Alex said, his voice quiet but firm. I don't need a parade. I need to get to the shop. Hannah shook her head. No, Alex. They need to know. She turned to Taylor. You think he's just an old man? He's the reason half this town's veterans came home. The crowd roared, some chanting. Alex. Alex. The chopper above dipped lower, its camera catching the swell of support. Lucas stepped closer, his voice low. Alex, I didn't know they'd pull you over. I'd have stopped it. Alex looked at him, long and hard. You didn't stop a lot of things, Lucas. The words hung heavy, a wound from years past. Taylor spoke up, her voice shaking. Sheriff, what do we do? Lucas sighed, rubbing his neck. You two, back to the station. We'll talk there. Jordan nodded, but Taylor stayed put. Colonel Carter, I want to fix this. Tell me how. Alex's eyes softened, just a bit. Start by seeing people, not problems. The crowd nodded, a man yelling, listen to him. Sarah wiped her eyes, proud of Alex's strength, but worried about Lucas's past with him. What had happened between them? The Marines watched, silent, their loyalty unwavering. Then, another sound, a motorcycle, louder than Alex's triumph. It was Mia Evans, 42, a local reporter who'd served in the National Guard. She'd been tipped off by a friend at the diner and rode in to cover the story. Colonel Carter, she called, pulling off her helmet. Channel 7's live, but I'm here for you. She glared at Lucas. Sheriff, your officers messed up. This is bigger than Willow Creek now. Lucas's face hardened. Mia, stay out of this. She laughed sharp. Not a chance. Alex deserves better. The crowd cheered, phones capturing Mia's defiance. The chopper's roar mixed with the crowd's noise, amplifying the moment. Alex raised a hand, quieting the chaos. Enough, he said again. I'm going to the shop. Anyone got a problem, come find me. He swung onto his Triumph, the engine roaring to life. The Marines formed a line, saluting as he revved the bike. Taylor stepped forward, desperate. Colonel, please. Let me make this right. Alex looked at her, his eyes steady. You want to make it right? Learn from this. Then we'll see. The crowd parted as he rode off, the Marines following in their Humvees, a convoy of honor. Lucas watched, his face unreadable. Sarah knew this wasn't over. Lucas and Alex had old wounds, and the town was about to learn why. Alex Carter's Triumph roared down Route 17, the Marines' Humvees trailing like a guard of honor. Willow Creek's main strip faded behind, but the news chopper still buzzed overhead, its camera locked on the convoy. The crowd dispersed, some cheering, others whispering about Alex's past. Sarah Morgan walked back to the diner, her heart heavy with pride, but uneasy about Sheriff Lucas Harper's tense look. At the station, Officer Taylor Reed sat in her patrol car, hands gripping the wheel, her mind replaying Alex's words. See people, not problems. Officer Jordan Hayes leaned against the car. This is bad, Taylor. Sheriff's pissed. Inside, Lucas stood by his desk, staring at an old photo. Him and Alex, younger, laughing at a town fair. The door swung open, and Mia Evans, the reporter, stormed in. Sheriff, you letting your officers harass heroes? Lucas glared. Mia, don't start. It was a mistake. Mia crossed her arms. Mistake? Alex Carter's a legend. You know it better than anyone. Lucas flinched, his voice low. Stay out of my history with him. Mia's eyes narrowed. History? Spill it, Lucas. Why'd you two fall out? The question hung, unanswered, as Taylor and Jordan walked in, heads down. Sheriff, Taylor started, I messed up. I want to fix it. Lucas sighed. You don't fix humiliating a man like Alex in public. Jordan spoke up. We didn't know he was a colonel. Lucas slammed the photo down. You didn't ask. That's the problem. Mia smirked. Sounds like you've got your own regrets, Sheriff. Lucas pointed at her. Out, Mia. Now. She left, but not before saying, this story's going live tonight. Taylor's stomach dropped. Live. Lucas nodded. Channel 7's got it all. You two are in deep. Meanwhile, at the auto shop, Alex parked his Triumph. The owner, Ethan Cole, 50, a former Army mechanic, greeted him. Heard the ruckus, Colonel. You okay? Alex shrugged. Just need that fuel pump. Ethan frowned. Cops had no right. I served because of guys like you. Alex's eyes softened. We all serve, Ethan. A new twist hit. A young man, Dylan Reed, 22, Taylor's brother, rushed in. Mr. Carter, I'm so sorry about my sister. She's not like that. Alex paused, surprised. Your sister? Dylan nodded, ashamed. She's tough, but she means well. Alex looked at Dylan, seeing a kid caught in a mess. Tell her to learn fast, son. Dylan's phone buzzed, a text from Taylor. Talk to Carter. Please. Dylan hesitated. She wants to apologize, sir. For real. Alex shook his head. Words ain't enough. Ethan chimed in. Give her a shot, Alex. She's young. The chopper's roar faded, but a new sound grew, sirens. 2 state troopers pulled up, drawn by the viral footage. Colonel Carter, one asked. We're here to escort you home. Orders from Fort Pendleton. Back at the station, Lucas grabbed his keys. I'm going to Alex's ranch, he told Taylor. You stay put. Taylor stood. Let me come. I need to face him. Lucas stared, then nodded. Fine. But you listen, not talk. Mia, outside, overheard and grinned. This I gotta see. The crowd's buzz lingered in Willow Creek, stories of Alex's heroism spreading. Sarah, at the diner, heard a customer say, he saved my cousin in Iraq. Alex's quiet life was no longer quiet, and Lucas's secret was about to crack open. Alex Carter stood outside Ethan Cole's auto shop, the fuel pump for his tractor in hand. The state troopers' cars idled nearby, their lights off but presence heavy. Ethan wiped grease from his hands, shaking his head. Never thought I'd see troopers escorting you, Colonel. Alex gave a small smile. Didn't ask for it. Dylan Reed, Taylor's brother, lingered, his eyes down. Mr. Carter, I'll tell Taylor what you said. She'll learn. Alex nodded. Hope so, kid. The news chopper had left, but Willow Creek buzzed with talk. Phones still sharing clips of Alex's stand. A pickup truck skidded into the lot, kicking up dust. Out jumped Ava Brooks, 48, a Willow Creek councilwoman who'd known Alex for decades. Alex Carter, she called, marching over. You okay? Her eyes flashed at the troopers. What's this mess? Alex sighed. Just wanted a part, Ava. She turned to Dylan. You're Reed's brother? Your sister better fix this. Dylan flushed. She's trying, ma'am. Ava scoffed. Trying ain't enough when you shame a hero. Ethan nodded. Whole town's talking, Ava. Alex deserves better. A new twist hit. A man in a suit stepped from a car that had pulled up quietly. Colonel Carter, he said, holding a badge. Agent Noah Kelly, VA, Fort Pendleton, called us. We're investigating the officer's conduct. Alex frowned. No need for that. Noah shook his head. Sir, your service record demands respect. This can't slide. Ava's jaw dropped. VA's involved now. Dylan's face paled, knowing Taylor's job was at risk. Ethan muttered, This is getting big. The troopers exchanged glances, one saying, We're just here to keep things calm. Back at the station, Sheriff Lucas Harper grabbed his hat, Taylor trailing him. Sheriff, let me talk to Alex, she pleaded. Lucas stopped, his voice tight. You don't get it, Taylor. Alex and we got history. I owe him. Taylor frowned. Owe him what? Lucas looked away. Not your business. Mia Evans, the reporter, lurked outside, catching every word. She texted her crew. Sheriff's hiding something. Dig into Carter and Harper. Inside, Jordan paced. Taylor, this is on us. We gotta make it right. Taylor nodded, her voice soft. I know. I saw his eyes. He wasn't angry, just hurt. At the shop, Alex spoke to Noah. Agent, I don't want anyone's badge. Just let me live my life. Noah's face softened. Sir, you saved my uncle in Desert Storm. This is personal for me. Alex's eyes widened, then softened. Your uncle okay? Noah smiled. Thanks to you. Ava wiped her eyes, touched. That's Alex. Always helping, never boasting. Dylan stepped up, shaky. Mr. Carter, can I tell Taylor you don't want trouble? Alex looked at him, long and hard. Tell her to come to my ranch. We'll talk. Another twist came fast. A crowd gathered, led by Hannah Quinn, the librarian. Alex, she shouted, holding a photo of her brother, saved by Alex in Kuwait. We're starting a petition for you. The crowd cheered, some holding signs. Honor Colonel Carter. Ava grinned. Willow Creek's got your back, Alex. He shook his head, humble. Don't need signs. Need peace. But the crowd's love warmed him, a light in a tough day. Noah turned to the troopers. Escort him home. No more stops. As Alex mounted his Triumph, Lucas's patrol car rolled up, Taylor in the passenger seat, their faces tense. The past was about to collide with the present. The sun dipped low over Willow Creek as Alex Carter's Triumph rumbled toward his ranch, the state troopers' cars flanking him. The Marines' Humvees followed, a steady line of respect. Agent Noah Kelly drove behind, his VA badge glinting on the dash. At the auto shop, Hannah Quinn and her crowd waved signs, chanting, Honor Colonel Carter. Ethan Cole watched proud, while Ava Brooks climbed into her pickup, vowing to rally the council for Alex. Dylan Reed stood alone, texting Taylor. He said come to his ranch. Don't mess this up. The town buzzed, social media alive with videos of Alex's stand. Sarah Morgan, back at the diner, overheard customers sharing stories. Alex fixing roofs, teaching kids to fish. Sheriff Lucas Harper's patrol car pulled into Alex's ranch, dust swirling. Taylor Reed stepped out, her badge heavy, her face tight. Lucas scanned the property. White fence, old barn. The Ford tractor parked under a tree. Stay quiet, he told Taylor. This is my mess too. She frowned. Your mess. Lucas didn't answer, his eyes on the house. Alex parked his Triumph by the barn, nodding to the troopers. Thanks, fellas. They saluted, driving off. The Marine stayed, Captain Morgan Blake approaching. Colonel will stand by. Alex shook his head. Go home, Captain. I'm fine. Morgan hesitated, then saluted, leading his men out. Noah stepped up. Sir, I'll file a report unless you say otherwise. Alex sighed. No reports, Noah. Just peace. Noah nodded, touched. My uncle always said you were the best. Alex's eyes flickered. Memories of war, men saved, men lost. Lucas and Taylor walked over, tension thick. Alex, Lucas started, voice rough. Can we talk? Alex leaned against his bike. Talk then. Taylor spoke fast. Colonel, I was wrong. I saw an old man, not you. I'm sorry. Alex looked at her, calm. Sorry's a start. What's next? Taylor swallowed. I want to learn. From you. Lucas raised an eyebrow, surprised. A twist broke the moment. A van screeched up, Channel 7's logo on the side. Mia Evans jumped out, camera crew behind her. Colonel Carter, she called. We're live. Tell your story. Alex's face hardened. No cameras, Mia. She pushed closer. People need to know who you are. Lucas stepped in. Back off, Mia. He said no. Mia smirked. Scared, Sheriff? What's your deal with Alex? Taylor's eyes darted between them, sensing secrets. Noah frowned, stepping beside Alex. Ma'am, respect his wishes. The crew kept filming, the crowd at the road growing, drawn by the van. Sarah arrived, parking her sedan. Leave him be, Mia, she shouted, joining Alex. Another twist hit. A man in a worn jacket pushed through. Jack Riley, 62, a Vietnam vet Alex had trained. He'd seen the news and driven 50 miles. Carter, he yelled, voice cracking. You saved my squad in 71. I owe you. Alex's face softened. Jack, you made it home. That's enough. Jack hugged him, tears falling. The crowd gasped, phones up. Mia's camera caught it, her voiceover live. A hero's reunion in Willow Creek. Taylor's eyes welled up, seeing Alex's impact. Lucas looked away, guilt etched deep. Alex, he whispered. I should have been there for you back then. Alex's gaze sharpened. Back when Lucas? Taylor spoke, voice shaky. Sheriff, what happened between you two? Lucas clenched his jaw. Not here. Jack overheard, frowning. Lucas, you mean the land deal? The crowd hushed, Mia's camera zooming in. Alex's voice was low. Tell them, Lucas. Or I will. Lucas rubbed his face, defeated. I sold Alex's family land after his dad died. Promised to split it fair. I didn't. Taylor gasped. Sarah shook her head, hurt. You cheated him? Lucas nodded, ashamed. Been carrying it 30 years. Alex looked at him, steady. Truth's a start, Lucas. Like her sorry. Mia's crew filmed, the story going viral. Taylor stepped closer to Alex. Colonel, I'll make this right. I swear. Alex nodded. Start by helping people, not judging them. Sarah smiled, proud. Jack clapped Alex's shoulder. Still the man I followed. The crowd cheered, signs waving. Noah turned to Lucas. Sheriff, we'll need a statement. Lucas sighed. I'll give it. As the sun set, Alex walked to his porch, the weight of the day heavy but lighter with truth. Taylor watched, determined to change. But Mia's broadcast was about to spark a bigger storm. The sun sank behind Alex Carter's ranch, casting long shadows over the white fence and his Triumph parked by the barn. The crowd lingered on Route 17, their signs for Alex glowing under streetlights. Sarah Morgan stood on the porch, her eyes warm with pride. Jack Riley, the Vietnam vet, stayed close, talking quietly with Alex about old missions. Agent Noah Kelly took notes for his VA report, while Mia Evans's news van idled, her crew wrapping up their live broadcast. Sheriff Lucas Harper stood by his car, his confession about the land deal still heavy in the air. Officer Taylor Reed, beside him, looked at Alex, her face set with determination. The day's chaos had changed her, and Willow Creek was watching. Lucas stepped forward, his voice low. Alex, I'll make it right. The land money, it's yours. I kept it in a trust. Alex's eyes narrowed, surprised. 30 years, Lucas. Why now? Lucas looked down. Guilt ate me up. Seeing you today. I can't run no more. The crowd hushed, phones catching the moment. Sarah gasped, whispering, he kept it. Taylor spoke up, her voice steady. Colonel, I'm starting a program at the station. Training to respect veterans, elderly, everyone. Will you help us? Alex studied her. If you mean it, I'll show up. Taylor nodded, tears in her eyes. I mean it. A final twist came. A group of kids ran up, led by Lily Hayes, 19, Jordan's sister. She held a handmade banner. Willow Creek honors Alex. Lily hugged Alex, shy. My dad served under you, sir. He said you taught him courage. Alex's face softened, his hand on her shoulder. Your dad was a good man, Lily. The crowd cheered, signs waving higher. Mia's camera zoomed in, her voiceover live. A town unites for its hero. Noah smiled at Alex. Colonel, the VA wants to honor you too. A ceremony at Fort Pendleton. Alex shook his head. No medals. Just let me ride. Jack laughed. Same old Carter. Taylor walked to Alex, her badge off, voice soft. I judged you wrong, sir. I'll spend my life fixing that. Alex met her eyes. Don't fix it for me. Fix it for the next person you stop. His words hit hard, the crowd nodding. Sarah wiped her eyes, proud of her friend. Lucas handed Alex a folded paper, a deed for the land money, signed over. It's done, Lucas said. I'm sorry. Alex took it, his voice calm. Forgiveness ain't free, Lucas. Earn it. Lucas nodded, accepting the challenge. The crowd clapped, some shouting. That's Alex. Mia approached, camera off. Colonel, off the record. Why stay quiet about your past? Alex looked at the stars. Heroes don't need to shout. They just do what's right. The crowd fell silent, his words sinking in. Taylor whispered, "I'll remember that." Lily's banner waved, and the kids chanted, "Colonel Carter." Sarah joined Alex on the porch. "You changed this town today," she said. He shrugged. They changed themselves. The lesson settled over Willow Creek like dusk. Judge a person by their actions, not their age or looks. Every soul carries a story worth hearing. Taylor drove off, vowing to train her team better. Lucas headed to the station, ready to face his past. Mia's story aired, inspiring thousands online. Alex sat on his porch, the triumph gleaming, knowing he'd won more than revenge, respect, truth, and a town that saw him. Willow Creek would never forget, and neither would those who heard his story.